Hey.
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm through that. Blow it out. Now we go, keep on with the keep on, because that's what our ancestors want us to do. How about y'all?
I'm good. I am I'm kind of running on fumes right now. I just landed about an hour ago, man. I just got back from Indiana. So
was it anything fun in Indiana?
I have no idea. So here's the thing. 90% of my travel is almost like a Prince show, right? It's like a Prince concert. It's one night only. I'm in and I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
So I got there last night. Yeah, I got there last night about 6, 7 o'clock, and I was out of there by 5 o'clock today. So
let me ask you something. Do you ever wake up and forget where you at? Because that used to happen to me.
Absolutely.
I remember sometimes I would do that all the time. And sometimes I'd wake up and I'd see the little, what is that, stubbly stuff on the ceiling?
Yeah, the popcorn ceiling.
Home, and then I turn, I'm still in Washington. Oh.
Still in Washington? No, I woke up and be like,
where am I at?
Oh, okay. Wait, what's today? Thursday. Okay, good. So,
Cardo, how about
today was really interesting. I'm getting some landscaping done, and
that's right.
Yeah, here's the thing. This was crazy, right? I was supposed to be with some of others, but they were kind of, and they're good. They're pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Some of ours, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But last minute, they couldn't do some things that I needed them to do, and so I got, some of our Brown brothers.
Gotcha.
They did excellent.
That's what's up.
Here's the thing. It's kind of like when you go to a barbershop and your barber's not in, and the other barber comes and cuts your hair,
I'll catch you
and it's better, and you like, I don't want to go back to the other guy. I'm trying to support, but the price was cheaper, so it makes it worse. I'm like, man,
you're like,
this is like,
my boy, you do house calls.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do because I gotta my wife, and then it's a wrap because my wife is. I knew it was a wrap when my wife said, "Oh, let me get their information." That means she's gonna tell all her little sister friends, home girls, church friends, whatnot. So now she don't even really talk to the people I have to deal with, whatever. She usually just, hey, check, handle your business, But she's loving what she said. She made me take pictures of the yard and everything. She's so happy. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know what I'm gonna do. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. You know.
So Diva, you keep that hair laid. Have you ever cheated on your stylist with another stylist in the same shop, or what? Because our barber code is strong. How is it for ladies?
So let me just tell you, it's funny you asked that question because while my stylist has been my stylist for 16 years, with this short hair, normally I find it easier for me to get a haircut every week, but I only get my hair done every 2 weeks. So in between, I would go to the barbershop with the boys. Nah, it's a no-go. And granted, now the barber he know what he doing. Mm-hmm. He know what he doing. Mm-hmm. But my stylist is like, all right, keep playing.
But I mean, it's a little bit of disruption when somebody of your caliber hits the barbershop. Mm-hmm. What do you go? Do you get your haircut when your son's getting his haircut, or you go separately?
Sometimes I'll go, if I'm gonna get it cut, I'll get it cut when I take him. Yeah,
I'm sure that's a hey. The best producer in the nation.
It's a mess, but they do okay. Yeah, even the barber.
Ooh, I could tell us a story that she's not telling.
You good? Y'all straight now, bro. Gonna get this done for the haircuts.
Oh no, this on the house.
No, you good now. Nah, I'm straight.
Come back and see me, girl. I got you, girl. Come back and see me.
Thanks, baby. Yeah.
Hey, Sandy. Jaime made a anime reference. He said that hair is as dope as regular. Hey, I didn't know you were an anime guy.
I don't even know who that is. I keep getting Storm. Like you giving me very much Storm vibes. So, okay. Thank you, Harleen.
Hey, Carlene. Thank you for being a loyal listener.
Yes.
Always she just said that because she just got her hair done today.
That's exactly what.
Okay. So come on,
Carlene.
She feeling
that's right.
Look at what else we got going on? What's up for the weekend?
My weekend, I'm chilling this weekend. Like, because I have to go back out Monday. So
I gotta go out Sunday.
Oh, I try my best not to travel on Sunday. That annoys me so bad. My whole week be thrown off. Well, I don't know what day it is.
In this case, we gotta hit the client on Monday morning. So we can't waste any time flying in on Monday. So we'll get there and go in and knock them out. Get them right like they're supposed to be. Hey.
That's it. Get the job done. That's what. Hey,
Gary. What's going on, Gary? How you doing, Mr. Williams?
That's what's up. So listen,
like next week, going into the weekend and next week.
Ricardo, what you got?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you say the dandelions? Let me hold on.
Let me find out. You know what?
I know.
Let me get some tea.
I googled it after you told me. You're right.
I told you.
But did you say something? She's right.
But the thing is, man, I don't get to choose none of that. I don't get to choose none of that.
It ain't even choosing. It's like, look, babe, look, this, and come on. Even if you just pick them up and put them in a jar. Oh my gosh.
They're gonna do it. We still have them in the front yard. They ain't did the front. They coming back tomorrow, and we'll say some of them. Matter of fact, I will make sure in the morning to tell them.
Like, so later, listen. I went to, I don't know if y'all heard this breakfast little spot called Breakfast Boys in downtown College Park.
I saw it on the news. It's in Hateville, right?
Right, it's in Hateville. And
Hateville or Old National?
No, Hateville.
Because I thought they took over somebody else's business into Old National.
I don't know about that. I don't go to Old National. So
BD, what's going on? Oh, you too good for Old National. Let me write that
down. No, I just no. I mean, no. But I ordered waffles, and the waffles came with a fresh dandelion. So I ate the waffles and everything, and then when I finished, I put the plate to the side so the girl could pick it up. She was like, "No, you didn't eat your dandelion," and I was like,
"Oh, wow!"
I said, "Okay." I said, "So what am I supposed to do?" She said, "Just pop it and eat it." She said, "It's a little tart, but just eat it." And sure enough, really? I just chewed it.
Okay. I remember to me, I'm sure you did this. I used to do the ginseng thing at the gas stations in the 90s. Remember that? They had the ginseng in the
I was into the church.
I know they wanted to
okay.
Every time I had a date.
No.
Shake my head. I made some lemon drops at my other aunt's house out of some organic sugar. And I had never done it with organic sugar. And then I added some honey to it. Man, everybody was loving it. So I'm like, yeah. Because she was like, "Can you make a lemon drop?" I was like, "I don't make lemon drops." She was like, "Please, we like lemon." So I put it together. It was fun. It was fun. And we had some good times during that weekend.
That's what's up.
So
that's what's up.
What's your questions? I've been working out my brain.
I was gonna say,
brain push
let's get into this because I got questions. So first of all, we're gonna start with the buffoonery first. We gonna get the ignorance out the way first. What, why, and when did we start this crate challenge? What the hell wrong with folk? What's wrong with these folk?
Boy, we listen.
Like, are we that bored? Are we that? Help me out.
Listen.
Help me out.
I might as well get this out the way.
Go ahead.
I think it's stupid.
Absolutely.
Ignorant. Mm-hmm. Don't be surprised if I end up
I'm sorry. Wait. What's the last part? You gonna do it?
What? I'm like, listen. All I know is I be looking. I be like, and then I'm
all
like,
you gotta do is.
my scale be like, no, you cannot. You're right.
No.
Sandy.
So are you gonna call the ambulance before you started, or during, or just wait till afterwards?
I know who I'm here to. There's no way.
There's
no scenario. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. At our age, right?
At our big age,
you know, bones don't necessarily mend back as quickly as they used to. And so, you know, you go on out there and break your hip. Because you know that be the first thing.
One thing about me, I'm a good talker. I fly the plane until it's time to get on that plane and fly out. You know what I'm saying? Something about seeing the actual crates, and after that third step, I'll be like, nah, shut up.
Exactly.
Atlanta is full of entrepreneurs. On Old National, Kroger was selling crates for 99 cents.
I saw that. I thought that was deep.
That's what we do. We gonna take advantage of it.
Listen, I love us. I promise y'all I do, but good grief.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we just don't know when to stop.
And you're getting tired of explaining us to our other people, other friends. Like, man.
Now listen. No, I ain't. Because let me wash my mouth. But I'm not tired because I'm not explaining anyway.
How? Exactly.
I'm not explaining. What's understood don't need to be explained. I understand, and that's all that matters. Don't come my people. That's it.
I hope it's over this week.
I'm sure it'll be over.
I hope so. What's the next dumb phase? Like what y'all ain't got nothing to do?
Listen, I'm still talking to a person who still doesn't really get TikTok, but I must be the only one that's not on it. Because everybody, I'm not even on TikTok, and I see TikTok.
And you still know what's going on.
Oh yeah. I don't have TikTok, but the other social media platforms are always sharing TikTok stuff with me.
Right.
What's going to happen? It's going to go on, and it's going to get on a Tonight Show because the cultural appropriation. That's how TikTok works. Like one group does something, and then next thing you know, now it's going to be super hot, but it's lame to us.
Right. But like we on to something else. Y'all gotta catch up.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so my next order of buffoonery. What in the absolute heck is going on with Sonya Curry? What's going on with the Currys?
Man.
I know.
What happened?
I know what happened.
What happened, Ricardo? What happened?
Listen, my former vocation, I used to talk to couples. I know what happened.
Was it cheating?
Good man. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell y'all something that y'all know is true, but it's one of those things. Without the power of God in your life and a good foundation, you need at least 2 or 3 realistic, real friends that tell you got a bug in your nose. The ones that tell you about yourself, like, hey, what are you doing? If you don't have at least 2, 3 of them, you're subject to fall down the Dale Curry. Listen, I'm telling you, I see it all the time. He played ball. A man of that much power and influence is hard to turn it. Y'all have heard the Chris Rock jokes. It's hard. It's hard.
It is, and
hard.
And the thing is, so like if little Ricky or Jalen or one of our kids become a millionaire, we gonna be happy for them. Right? We're gonna be like, I don't want nothing. I'm happy you happy. Mm-hmm. Right? But if they have NBA contracts totaling $60 million, I do have a bit of a wish list. In that case, like they make their first million, I'm like, you go ahead. They get up to 600 million, and that's not including all those endorsements. I do have a bit of a wish list that I want. Mm-hmm. And so he was not only did Dale Curry make a lot of money in the NBA. He continues to make money as a broadcaster, continues to travel across the country as a broadcaster. But when your son makes that level, both sons, because you got one that's made 600 million and one that's made a measly 50 million. A measly 50 million. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it just puts you in a.
And the daughter's married to another one that's married.
True. And so it just puts you in a situation of a saturation of temptation, and that's not making it any excuses for him. But what I would tell him, I would beg him, Dale, you don't want to get out in these streets, brother.
Mm.
You done messed up. She has obviously messed up. Let bygones be bygones. Sandy said something about it. Because I'm telling you, your best bet.
I want to hear about
you. I'm not even talking about the afford thing.
Yeah.
Like, she don't mind that you don't push in the drawers. She don't mind that your breath stink real bad in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Go get out in these streets. And thought teacher from the internet, hoorah, Josh, Joshua Gerald. It's a different world out here. You don't want to be out here in this world. It was easier to be out in this world when it was like, oh, I know you got a wife. But when you get out in this world, you go think about Miss Sonia deal.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What you gonna say, Diva?
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Let me just preface that first. I think I'm gonna call BS. And this is why. And I'm just gonna say this, and people can take it however they so choose. Monogamy is not normal.
Oh.
Period. I said what I said.
Look, Ricardo punching the back of his head. Oh my God.
Hey,
I said what I said. It's not normal. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Once we get away from the ideal that somebody is your property, then maybe we can kind of start seeing things a little bit differently. And I'm very passionate about this thing because I can't stand that. Oh, you mine and you can. Come on, man. Like, knock it off. Nobody belongs to nobody. And I know everybody ain't gonna agree.
My brother's already hurt because you done said that because you was his.
Nobody is anybody's property, and it's all about a conversation. And so if like you said, now Jimmy, it ain't nothing out in the streets, but it's a conversation to be had, and it can be worked out to where everybody is happy and there's an amicable amount of respect. But all that expecting somebody to just like for life,
right?
Like,
yeah,
life?
I mean, you can. You know, I'm
life.
Yes.
Ever.
I see it all the time, but I'm gonna tell you, if I shared with y'all, it could be an entire show of the things that I do and that my wife does that would come off so weird to y'all. Y'all be like, what?
No, it wouldn't, because here's the other thing. People have to get away from the idea of what relationship is. Relationship is whatever you and your partner make it.
Yes.
Whatever makes y'all happy.
Yes. Like, for example, number one, no female in my Rolodex. I don't have any phone numbers that if you can't call my wife, you can't call me.
Okay. And if that works for y'all, that works for y'all.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, at my age, I was talking to another guy about this. I'm like, man, I literally judge dudes by, you know, I'm washed, right? But I know I'm washed. I'm cool with being washed. Like, I'm totally in Jameed, sir. I know what's out there. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with that? What am I gonna do with that? I couldn't even if I had the money. What am I gonna do? That's a whole nother.
It's not even about.
I did a dating show last night with Jaime and Sandy. Well, Sandy, I was subbing for Sandy and Joe who are watching, and it was, you know, a group of singles telling like what it is, and I was like, man, I wish Dale Curry could see this. So because that ain't what it is. That ain't it what it is.
Yeah. So that's
that you're both right. I just feel like, well, let me say this, because I know we got a lot of stuff we got to get to. What probably happened was being a man in a position of authority and getting it thrown at him on a regular. He probably cheated. She probably took him back. Good Christian woman. Then he cheated again, and then she getting sick and tired of taking him back. And then can
we not get sick and tired of taking him back and just have a conversation about his needs and wants? Because here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Well, this is for me. For the next however long I'm on this earth, I don't want to be anybody's everything.
No, there you go. You're right about that.
I don't want to be nobody's everything.
You're right about that.
It's stressful.
You did good. You did good, girl.
It's stressful. I don't want to be nobody's ever, not my kids, nobody. And I don't want to put that on somebody else to feel like they have to be my everything.
Yep. I saw somebody say this on Facebook. They was like, how could you have a relationship with a girl who don't like sports? And I was like, I love sports. I don't even care. That's not, there's so many other things that I like besides sports.
Right.
It's actually, I love the space that my wife gives me to have my sports. She does her HGTV or whatever it is she do upstairs.
And
I do my ESPN, CNN, whatever, downstairs. So it works.
Okay.
I think, to your point, I think that's a very wise thing.
Moral of the story, do what works for y'all.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen.
And keep other people out your business. Because here's the thing. When you tell people your business and then y'all get back together, they still mad.
Right. That's the hard part. That is
Yeah.
Yep.
Anywho, on to Aaliyah.
Oh. Okay.
Why you say oh like that though?
Cause that was my heart, man. I
Yeah.
saw her before she passed.
Did you?
Club that club on Memorial Drive? What's the name of that club? The Atrium.
Oh yeah.
I saw her. I was chilling with her there. Real nice, down to earth. Week later, I remember when I saw it on the news.
Yeah.
This is when Atlanta. Well, Atlanta's still like that, but man, this is when Atlanta just started popping. Like it would be nothing to be in the '90s. Y'all know.
Yeah.
You go to the club and I could be Redman's over here, Busta Rhymes over there, and that just
anybody
even over here.
Anytime. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jamie, what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it took long enough to get it onto the platforms. I have personally, when I was in Japan, Aaliyah came out when I was in Japan, right?
Okay.
And I felt like that I discovered Aaliyah.
Okay.
I don't know if we got time.
I mean, but seriously, I really felt like I discovered her over there because the way they release albums, outside of the United States is different than the way they release them in the United States, right?
Okay.
And so what I was feeling was like, so you just bought the CD and then you bumped it. I was pumping her to everybody over in Japan. And so the first place that she went gold and platinum was Japan. Because I was like, you gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. And then of course she blew up globally. But in the days that record sales meant something, she was killing in Japan. So
that's what's up.
I always felt close to her. I felt sorry for what she was going through with the person that was supposed to be her mentor, and not to get all into that. But I guess the sad thing was her mom ended up having to ban people from the visiting her grave site because they were just doing too much, as we always do. But yeah, she was a uber talented young lady.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad her album is out. I bet that thing is streaming like crazy.
Let me ask y'all, did y'all know that she didn't want to get on the plane?
Yes.
Joshua.
Yes.
She didn't want to get on the plane.
She didn't want to get on.
Everybody that, I didn't know this because I didn't know her. I just, hey, how you doing? But everybody that knew her knew that. That's why it was so funny. Like she's funny,
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this, just out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
If Aaliyah were still around today,
I think about this all the time.
Do you think, and forgive me for all but do you think Beyonce would be as big as she is?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why. Because being on the entertainment side, you see the real game is your people's. Her daddy did a really good job keeping them kids out of some mess. I'm telling you, up until she was 18, you couldn't even hardly be in a room alone with that girl. None of them girls, because her daddy didn't play. And they just had they just made the right moves. You remember when what they did was they Mariah, of course, was doing it first, but they were the one that was latching on. They would do all these songs with rappers. Remember they had Wyclef Jean, and then Lil Wayne, and man, that was in what's the guy from Houston, sipping on fofos, that guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And so they kept doing it. That was their shtick. So even though their singer was like pretty good, I mean Kelly's a better singer, but they just really did a good job. You know, the thing is, there's more, and then guys are guys, man. They just, I remember.
I think it's a lane for both of them.
Yeah, it's a lane for both.
Okay.
We talked about Rihanna becoming a billionaire.
Now what? Jaime just said that's true. Now,
yeah,
Sierra, I'm from Atlanta.
Sierra was coming in a different lane, but I think remember at that time there was no limit to music consumption, right?
Right.
So it was like I wasn't choosing between one or the other, and one thing that was undefeated, I think Aaliyah has more talent than Beyonce.
Yeah.
But
Beyonce's drive.
Yeah.
Beyonce's drive wasn't gonna be stopped by nobody.
Okay.
So that's why it's a lane for both of them. But it's a good question.
I know how to beehive work. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I'm not anti-beehive.
No, I'm not anti-Beyonce.
Yeah, but I mean,
just out of curiosity.
That was a good question.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into these sports, y'all. First of all, preseason. Let me just say, we're not even going to talk about my team. So moving on to somebody else's team, because mine. I don't know what and why. I don't know. I'm already like ready to throw in the towel, and we only had 2 games. But I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. Like, y'all help me out. Talk me off the ledge.
We're gonna talk you off the ledge. Okay. So this is
your team.
Don't do that to no Dolphins.
Sandy, did you say the Dolphins because you like the Dolphins or because they beat the Falcons?
I don't even know she's a Dolphins fan.
I don't know how you in Texas and a Dolphins fan are just rubbing it in because
that's my sister on the show. She can say what she wants.
But what I'll say is it's a new NFL and they're treating a preseason totally differently. And it's a chance they're not playing. They're not playing the starters. There's not a single guy who's going to start in the Falcons' real season that has seen significant time in the preseason. Yeah. So, okay, Sandy.
Damn, Marino, isn't he like 1,000 years old now?
He is.
I'm 1,000 years old.
He had triple OT out there in Miami. So don't be discouraged. Okay. I don't think that's reflective of the thing. I think they've really decided that these preseason games are like, so the preseason games used to go like this. Game 1, Game 2, and Game 3 used to get the starters a little more playing time each one. But that limited how much the guys that you really need to cut got to play. So now a lot of the newer, younger NFL coaches like Sean McVay, Arthur Smith, because don't be fooled. He looks old because his hair is great. He's a young guy.
Okay.
And they're like treating it like I'm going to play all the guys I'm trying to decide between cutting. Because a lot of times at the end of the preseason, think back in the years, you're like, I can't believe they cut Bear Woods. I can't believe that. So you start falling in love with these guys, but they made one play. But they actually only played 10 plays, and 8 of them was terrible. So they're just getting more time to evaluate those guys. We're going to see if it works. Yeah.
So what do you think about? No, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, what do you think about the new management team, the new GM, the new coach?
We're loving them.
I think they have a plan. They have a plan. They have a smart plan. I think that what they've decided to do is try to keep the quarterback and rebuild the rest of the team. It's a bold approach. But if you have a good enough quarterback, you can stay afloat. So I think that's what they're landing on. Hey, that's a good question. I don't want to put that question back up, Ricardo, because we promised we're going to talk about the stuff that you guys want to talk about. How long will Urban Meyer last?
He might not last a year.
A year.
Oh.
You know, when the going gets tough, Urban Meyer gets going. So I don't see him being a long-term coach. Listen, he's a talented coach. He has a great mind, but they're like 2 or 3 years from being good. And I don't know, can he go through 2 or 3 years of losing? So it was a curious choice. I know it was tempting because they got Trevor Lawrence, a Georgia boy, going up there, and he's going to be great. But they're going to lose a lot of games this year. They're going to lose a lot of games next year. Then maybe the third year. And Urban Meyer just has not shown that that's what he wants to do. So what do you think? What do you think?
Well, a couple things. You're right in terms of the 2-3 year play. I don't think Urban knew that. I think he's that. You can't be Nick Saban, Urban Meyer. You can't be on that level of great and not think that you can come in and change and turn around a program. The problem is, same for Nick Saban, to Joshua's point, I just think it's really hard for a lot of today's college coaches to do well in today's NFL because you're asking professionals to do stuff that it's easy to ask an 18 to 22-year-old.
You're not asking 18 to 22-year-olds. You tell them.
Well, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just agreeing with you.
You're asking these 25, 26, 30-year-old men to do this, on the same level, and it's just not that. These are professional men getting paid a lot of money. Some of them are getting paid more than you.
Most of them are.
Yeah. Well, no, not most.
Most of the ones that's going to give you trouble, I should say.
Yeah.
Because you can still control those guys at the end of the roster because you control their fate.
Yeah. The problem is, like you said, the structure is not good. They need to rebuild from the bottom down. And I think that it was straight up, it's Jacksonville, Florida. It's a money play. It was like, who is the most popular football name in Jacksonville, Florida? Well, how about the guy who made Florida Gators football all of that? That's Urban Meyer. And to top it all that, bring Tim Tebow back. Heck yeah, why not? Of course that's going to work because this is Florida. They're going to love it in Florida, and obviously that didn't work. And when he made that one, he blew a block that was so obvious, they literally had to cut him because how was that even possible? But no, he won't make it. And with his, and I wasn't being funny. Don't be surprised if he doesn't even make the year. He might make it through the end of the year, but he'll be gone after the first year because that's not what this was meant for. This was a money play. Like, hey, we're not going to win for a while. What should we do? Hey, let's just get a Florida name in there and let's get butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And speaking of Florida, Joshua brought up when the old ball coach, the most successful coach in Florida history, Steve Spurrier, went to the pros and he couldn't do it. So I agree. Yes. Sandy from the Texas Tech view of the world said, hey, going to the college of pros is a hell of a change. Agree, but doable. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. Sandy, you better put the guy on the third hottest hot seats in the NFL. Like, he's not on the hottest seat, but his seat is very warm. He is one of the best looking coaches in the NFL, and his house is the number one. He has the number one house in the NFL.
That's all I see when I see him. I'll be like,
he was like, I want to marry you, Cliff Kingsbury. But his coaching decisions, he's under, not just him, because the GM is under pressure because he has blown the draft. And so if the GM goes, is the GM and the coach. He can't survive the GM going.
Yeah, Sandy, to your point, though, you are correct. Going from college to pro, it's a lot of change. It is doable. Yeah. But it's harder for a guy like a Nick Saban, who is Nick Saban.
Who has a lot more experience, who's been doing it for longer.
His portfolio is a whole lot different.
Right, exactly, Diva.
It's easier for a guy, Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury had just got fired.
Yeah, he got fired. He got fired.
Had a job in college.
Yeah.
But what it is the ownership, they fell in love with the system he ran, and they felt like, well, it's like it was a lot of good things at the same time. Like, your quarterback that you'd want is going to be available in this draft. Nobody was going to pick him when they did, except for Cliff Kingsbury. He's actually been doing great. I might pick him up in a couple fantasy teams here or there. So we'll see. He's been better than I thought he'd do. It's hard for a 5'6", 5'7" guy to do.
He's not 5'7",
5'8". I don't know what it is. He's short,
man. The
he's
man
He's a little short. He's a little short. But my point is, they didn't do a really good job. They've got great names, but and you're talking to a person who believes in this philosophy. You build between the offensive and defensive lines, and I don't think they've done the best job of doing that anyway. They've gotten a lot of names at great positions. I love the wide receivers they got. I love some of the defensive backs that they have. I can't remember the name of the safety, the little short safety. I can't even think of him.
From Washington.
Yeah, I like him a lot, but I just believe that you build in those trenches, man. And they have
Buda Baker.
That's him.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Whole thing. Okay. Jacksonville offensive line. Is that a trash can?
It is.
Yeah,
it's a trash can.
Yeah. They are. They're the worst in the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's saying
something. And that's going to be a struggle to have your franchise quarterback play behind that.
Yeah.
Josh,
okay.
Let me do this real quick. Josh and Gerald, we don't ever say anything. This is sir. We don't say anything positive about the New Orleans Saints. Even
no.
We don't do
Nothing.
that. You're gonna have to figure out how to reword that and send it back, sir. That's your warning.
And you like to see guys get second chances because sometimes it feels like sometimes everybody doesn't get second chances.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like, as a Falcons fan, like how Jameis looked. That's the best compliment I could give. I did not like how they looked. That's what I would say. So
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So moving on to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to discuss and address the whole thing with the jump. And I know. I was like, oh yeah. So we just did my podcast yesterday, our show yesterday was on the tears of Karen.
You went there, huh? Oh.
And so I feel like this is very befitting in the topic of the jump. So
perfect. So to fill you guys in, because we know a lot of our viewers don't watch sports like we watch. Yeah. So ESPN has a basketball show called The Jump, hosted by Rachel Nichols, who was a burgeoning star, right? Her mother-in-law, she's related to Diane Sawyer.
Yeah.
And so, there were some questions about how she got in the game, but she got in there and proved herself. She has very friendly relationships with players. Yep. Anyway, able to do well. She was doing well. And sometimes when you're doing well, the worst thing is somebody else doing weller. A Georgia girl, Maria Taylor, took off. She played volleyball at Georgia. She is tall. Bye, Sandy. Good night.
Bye, Sandy.
She is tall. She's beautiful. She is smart, and she knows all sports.
She's melanated.
She's melanated. She's
doing her thing.
And she's doing her thing. So she shot up. And so somebody taped Rachel Nichols making disparaging comments about nothing. She didn't say anything directly racist, but what she said was she cast aspersions on why Maria Taylor's star was growing. And so it became a whole scandal during the playoffs. It broke during the playoffs, and they were like, what are we going to do? We going to do this? So what they did was they pulled Rachel Nichols off, and they wouldn't do this, and they didn't do, all this stuff. Maria Taylor had another show, which was the NBA pregame, which was highly rated.
Right. She's
doing her thing in the middle of contract negotiations. So ESPN sat on their hands. Well, Maria Taylor went to NBC. So they lost Maria Taylor, and then now they decided to basically bench Rachel Nichols for the rest of her contract, which is a year. So she can't work anywhere else. And so forget the pay, but as a journalist, having a whole year of not being on
Yes.
TV and not being any articles, that's tough.
Yeah.
So I think in the end it wasn't fair to either one of them because Rachel apologized, and not that that's enough. What I want to talk to Rachel about is you had to go through people casting aspersions on how you were doing because you were related to Diane Sawyer. And what you did,
the exact same
you did the same thing. And what she was complaining about wasn't just Maria Taylor, was why is it so few spots for women at ESPN? And so we have a woman on our show who might end up at ESPN. And so, if you're watching, if you're scouting, come on. Because she taking us with her, even if we just the luggage carriers. So yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah.
That's all around. And it ends up sad for Rachel Nichols. Maria Taylor stays winning, and it's just almost like everything is so cut and dry, but ESPN sat on their hands, and that should have been resolved way before it was leaked out to the press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, and I still think Nichols kind of handled it wrong, or could have handled it a little bit differently, because it's a way to do things. I just feel like she just kind of did. She kind of did a little underhanded, and it backfired.
It was way underhanded. It was a lot underhanded.
Yeah, it was a lot underhanded, and it backfired in her face. Whereas it could have been something that would have helped her platform.
Oh yeah, say the elephant in the room is that's not the only underhanded thing. I mean, who taped her? Who taped her? They knew what they were doing.
But that was a part of the thing that made Maria Taylor mad, because the only person that got disciplined in that whole thing was the lady that taped her. And that's why you say you better bring somebody with you, because the person who taped her was like, oh no, chick, let me I
got receipts.
Yeah, this conversation not going the way it's going. It should be going. So but that was luckily it wasn't in California, because it would have been a crime. But that was something, but it's not. You got to watch. You shouldn't have said it.
Period. Right. Period. Point blank. So y'all gonna learn today. And that's that on that. Anywho, on to tennis. So with my girls, my Williams girls, how are they doing? What's going on with them?
So Serena's reign as the queen is coming to an end. And I mean, because she's starting to have these injuries that Ricardo is denying on LeBron. But
he's just a hater.
No shade, no tea. Go ahead.
But she's starting to have the injuries. And it wasn't sad, because she's done her winning and she's got her super bag, and she continues to get her bag. And it's time to transition. And here you go, an Afro-Latino, a Japanese lady was poised to take her place, our Haitian queen. And then now she's dealing with some minor injuries. But I don't believe that Naomi Osaka is going to continue to compete at the highest level in tennis. And so it makes you doubly sad, because it was sad. It was happy and sad, because we got to see Serena's whole reign. And she did it with style. Yeah. She wasn't even supposed to be the best one, if you go all the way back to the beginning.
Don, the dad said when they came out, he said Serena's going to be even better. And at the time, he said he was crazy.
But that's what the dad said. When I say supposed to be the best one, the tennis pundits. And so it is sad. It wasn't sad, because it's like, oh, Serena had her time, and now we got Naomi Osaka, and there's a lot of good young Americans playing.
Yeah.
So that's good, but none of them have the potential that Osaka has. So of course, I have a son who is Afro-Latino, who was born in Japan. So of course, I always have a connection to, and like the exact same age as Naomi Osaka. So I always have a connection to her career. And so it makes it even sadder as Serena's career comes to the end, because you don't have that thing where, bye Serena, hey Naomi. Is now bye, Serena, and come back, Naomi. And I just don't know if she's going to come back. And I can't blame her if she doesn't. But
Yeah.
like Kyrie, it's like she has more important stuff on her mind and heart than competing in tennis.
Yeah. Well, and I think Serena has definitely she's done her due diligence. I mean, the girl, she's killed the game for so long. So, if she does, hang up her racks and hang up her crown.
Nobody can take that crown. That crown is going
right.
with her. They had to make a new crown.
Right.
I mean, for us who experienced people who saw Martina Navratilova and Steffi Graf, I never imagined a tennis player being as dominant as them.
Yeah.
And then here comes Serena. He was more dominant than them.
Yeah. So he kicked the door down.
It is sad. It's a little sad.
Ricardo, what was you about to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say she's arguably the most dominant athlete in our lifetime. Sport period. I don't really see a close second in our lifetime. I mean, Mike did his thing, but she was. Who watched? I like men's tennis, but I think most people would say we watch women's tennis more than men's tennis.
More than men's, absolutely.
Since the 90s, at least.
Absolutely, yeah.
She has been a driving force behind that. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So, move right along because I got more questions. So, what's going on with this gambling situation?
Funny you should ask.
I know y'all want to talk about that.
College football is about to start.
Yes, it is.
And I mean, it's starting this weekend.
It is, yes. And it is.
And so if you look at the screen, you can see that there's some games coming on already. So there's actually one good game, Nebraska against Illinois. And so Nebraska is in some hot water. They did a little cheating from during the COVID time. Not that the results matched that, but they're opening the season against Illinois. They're favored by 7. And if you look at the consensus and look at the lines moved a little bit from 6.5 to 7. A lot of people are on Illinois. Now that one thing you got to fade the public. The other game is maybe one of the bottom 4 worst teams in college football. Connecticut, they are giving up 27.5 points. And that sounds like a lot. But what I'm here to tell you is the bottom 4 teams in college football never cover. So if I was betting any game, I'm betting Fresno State against Connecticut. I don't have a bet on Nebraska and Illinois. Next, you have Texas El Paso and New Mexico State. That is a regional game. Texas El Paso is supposed to be better than New Mexico, but that line is too tight. 9.5, 10 points. New Mexico State, that's a lot of points. And then the last game that's on the board is San Jose State and Southern Utah. It opened at 21. It is now up to minus 24.5. And I like San Jose State at 21. 24.5 is a lot of points to root for against a team that's not one of the worst teams, right? So Southern Utah is much better than Connecticut. So that's scary. So I would sit that out, or I might use a teaser to get that. Instead of teasing it up for Southern Utah, I would tease it down to San Jose State. If I did a teaser and got 7 points knocked off, I would feel more comfortable with that. I feel very comfortable with Fresno State, and I don't like the Nebraska and Illinois game. I think Nebraska has a chance to come out fired up because their coach is in battle and in trouble. But I wouldn't touch that game with a 10-foot pole. So The bet that I like is the Connecticut one, and I might do a teaser on the San Jose State. But a lot of times the best bets are the best bets you don't make. So we'll see how those bets turn out. I'm taking that Fresno State to the bank, and I'm thinking about San Jose State.
Okay. Ricardo?
No, I leave it to him. I usually take his advice or take it or leave it.
Right. Because here's the thing.
60% correct. So you guys, we're not responsible. And from my understanding in the state of Georgia, this is not what we do. These
hypothetical. Theoretical. You could never look online and Google offshore betting and find a website to do your money and choose cryptocurrency or Bitcoin so I would never tell anybody to do that. Bet responsibly, and if you have to go out to have a chance to go out to Las Vegas or one of the many, many states in which gambling is legal and they're not losing money. So I think it's going to pass in Georgia soon, but right now it's just theoretical. We will be tracking our record. We will be tracking our record. We're not going to throw the rock and hide our hands. We will be tracking our record. It's about to get into football season, and when we get into football season, we get hypothetically picked. Yes. There's a lot of big games coming up next week, so we are going to be. You better be ready to talk some football next week.
Yes, I'm ready to talk football. No offense to basketball, but I don't have to. But since we're gonna talk about, since we still got to talk about basketball, we can go ahead. We can discuss the Hawks and training camps and all that good stuff. Well, not training camp, but the Hawks and what's going on with the Hawks. I'm over it, but
they hired Nick the Quick Van Exel as assistant coach. One of their coaches took a job elsewhere. What's your thoughts on Nick as a Lakers fan, Ricardo?
In the 90s, listen, that's the guy who I tried to play like.
Really? That's surprising.
I can't shoot, but in my mind, I thought I could be Nick. I love Nick Van Exel. I used to love his socks. I used to love how he would shoot from the free throw line, like a couple steps back from the free throw line when he would shoot his free throws. I love Nick. Matter of fact, my second favorite Lakers team of all time is not the 2000 Lakers. It's that 95, 96 team with the Cedric Ceballos, Nick Van Exel, the team before the team, where a lot of guys kind of jumped off the bandwagon and we couldn't beat Seattle. We couldn't get past Utah just yet, but it was fun because they were so young and hungry. And Eddie Jones, man, I love Nick Van Exel. So I was he's a Hawk now. Good stuff.
Okay.
And so there was a hypothetical trade that might include the Hawks. Raphael Barlow, who was a guest last week, kind of told us that the Hawks are looked at as the team that has the most assets that they could trade and still be good.
Right.
And it looks, I feel like it's over for Ben Simmons and Philly. I think that he's represented by Rich Paul of Clutch. And he said, I'm not coming to training camp with Philly. Well, they threw him all under the bus. And at the time in Game 7, he did not take a shot. They didn't lose because of that one shot. That shot that wasn't a game clinching shot.
Right.
There was 2-1 seconds left. And then all of a sudden, instead of being about how well the Hawks played, the whole series came down to how terrible Ben Simmons played. But he averaged 10 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds in the series. So how could he play that terrible? So anyway, they threw him under the bus. Doc Rivers threw him under the bus. Him and Embiid never liked each other. And Embiid jumped on that chance to be like, this is my team. That's my team. This is my team. Whatever. But Embiid jumped on him while he was down. So the Hawks were mentioned as one of the destinations. And Ricardo and I are probably the only two human beings in the earth who would say, "Okay, run it." And people get confused. If he joined the Hawks, no matter who you traded, he would be the second most talented player on the team.
Yeah.
And so why this whole idea that we keeping guys who have not made an All-Star game, who have not made All-Pro, who've not made all defensive team, and some of them never will. But we got to keep him. We got to keep him. We got to keep him. And I like all those guys. But when you get a chance to get that talent, you got to get it.
And to be frank, we don't have a choice in this sense. We're going to have to make a move. It's been reported that we're looking to make a move. We don't have a choice. We actually have too much talent.
Yeah,
I've never seen this. I've definitely never seen this in Atlanta. But you can't pay all these young guys.
Right, and a lot of them
want to be doing around the same time.
A lot of
the way the league works, you have to have about 3 or 4 guys that you can pay, and then everyone kind of fit behind those guys. Ideally 3 if you got 3 max level players. But man, Ben is probably the best perimeter defender in the league. And probably one of the better passers that people seem to forget about. And he can score. I think now, if you're going to get Ben Simmons, his value will never be lower than it is right now. And he's a baby. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
And let that be the reason. So it is time for us to close the show, guys. It's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talking
to you. It's great reuniting with our family. So this is our work fun podcast family.
Right.
What's your podcast again?
Good Girlfriends. Good Girlfriends podcast. Every other Wednesday night. Oh wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I say it was Joshua. And say prayers. Actually, Joshua, boss has a sailor in her family as well. So it was a sad day. And prayers out to all the families that lost a family member in the Navy Marine Corps family. Thank you for reminding us of that, Josh.
Yes.
And I hope this show did take it off your mind for a second.
Yes. Anything we can do to help. We try to do what we can do when we can do it. So thank y'all. Good night. And as we say, peace up.
A-Town down.
A-Town down. All right. Good night.